What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with a review for Love After Lockup. This is season 4. This is episode 36, and this episode is titled. I don't know what this episode is titled, you guys. Give me just a second. I don't even know what this episode was titled, to be quite honest with you. It was an interesting episode. I'll definitely tell you that much. This episode was just very interesting. It is Car Chase from Hell, you guys. So let's go ahead. So before we go ahead and get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna start off with, honestly, they could have kept this episode. For me personally, they could have kept this episode. It wasn't a good episode. It was boring as crap. Nathan and Skyler, both of them bother me for different reasons. I think he got a few screws loose up here, and so does she. But he's worse than she is, right? I've said that plenty of times before. This couple can go. Please don't ever bring them back, right? So you guys remember in the last episode we saw Skyler. She was worried about Nathan, and she went home, babe. So she went upstairs to the room. He was in the bed asleep. And I was like, oh, okay. I told you guys, I knew WeTV was doing something. They were just ended it on suspense, and it wasn't nothing, right? So he was like, wow, babe, you know, I'm just taking a nap. You know, you could have given me a heart attack. And I was like, okay, whatever. So, Nathan, you know what, Nathan? I know you got an engagement ring for Skyler. I don't think you and Skyler are going to get engaged. I don't think you and Skyler are going to make it to the next day. Please return that ring that you can't afford. Why would you go buy a ring that you can't afford? Now, I know we always make jokes and cracks, jokes about people who go and buy them rings from the pawn shops and whatnot. At least they ain't spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a ring that's burning a hole in their pocket. His words, not mine. That's stupid, right? So he wants to hold off on asking her to marry him. I'm like, I think you might not want to marry her to ask you to marry. I think you may not want to ask her for her hand in marriage, period. Because you're a walking red flag. Oof. So is she, but you are the biggest walking red flag, right? So they went out to dinner. Now, I'm going to give Nathan 1 point, but then I got to take that 1 point right back so he has no points for me, right? But I'm going to give him 1 point for right now. So they sit down for dinner, and you see Skyler. So Skyler is texting at the dinner table, and I'm like, that's rude, number one. So then her phone rings, and she answers it, and it's her friend. I was like, that's strike number 2. It's one thing that you texting at the table, right? But then you took a whole phone call, and it was one of her friends. Now, I want you guys, because they kept bleeping some things that Nathan was saying. I'm a hope and pray Nathan wasn't saying what I think he was saying, because the bleep, I can tell what people are saying about a bleep sometimes, right? I can typically tell what people are saying about the bleeps, because her friend kept calling, and I kept listening to the friend's voice. The friend sounds black. He sounds like a black man. He sounds like a black man. He does not sound white. I could be wrong. But Nathan kept saying, you know, I don't know if Nathan was saying MFer or Nathan was saying the N word, because I couldn't tell the differentiate. I know at one point I could hear him what he was saying. I'm trying to talk and not say the curse words, you guys, but because it's really hard for me not to say the curse words. Oh, Jesus, I got to figure out how, like if I do curse, I got to figure out how to either bleep it or blur it out what I say. So I'm going to have to look into that this weekend, how to bleep and blur things on here. Like blur word, like if I say a word, I'm trying to figure out how to insert a clip where, insert it where it takes the audio out. But I don't know if Nathan was saying MFer or if he kept saying the N word, right? Because he said it because he said he'll beat that bleep up. That's where I got lost. He said he'll beat that bleep up. So I don't know if he was saying MFer or if he was saying the N word. Because that bleep literally, because the way they bleeped it, it wasn't beep beep, it was I'll beat that up, right? So I don't know if he was saying the N word or if he was saying MFer. So I'm gonna pray he wasn't saying the N word, right? But I think he was. Because at one point in the episode, he told her to come with him. She says, I'm eating. I was with Skyler. I'm eating. Was he being jealous. He was a whole lot jealous. Let's be real. He was hella jealous. But she was rude. But like I said, one point for him, didn't take that point back, was on her side. He told her to stand up at one point. I was like, girl, don't stand up. Please don't. I know that there are cameras here, and I know there are people in this restaurant, but girl, whatever you do, don't stand up, because I don't know what this man is going to do. He told her to come with him. I said, no, don't you go with him. Don't go with him. Like, please don't go with him. Ow, that kind of hurt a little bit. I was like, no, don't go with him. And then he left. He called her, talking about you making me look like a B word, right? God, this is not going to be easy to do these videos. He said, you're making me look like a B word. And I was like, no, you made yourself look like a little bitch, not her. So then a guy came up to her and talking about shots. And he said, I'll come back and beat him up. I was like, so you're going to beat up every man that looks at your woman? So Skyler tells us the man that gave her the shot stole some money from her. So she thought he was being funny and just paying her back. I'm like, girl, no, he was not. He was doing it on purpose, right? So Nathan came back. He'll beat that bleep up. I don't know what he's saying. Again, because he gives me somebody who... So let's just be real about Nathan. Nathan does kind of give me that he hung around with... Because the way he tries to talk and stuff, it does give me that he's hung around some black guys before. So he's picked up the vernacular from black people, and he wants to use our slang. That's what it's giving me. I do believe he said the N-word, right? I don't give a rat's behind, but let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Justine and Michael, you guys. So, remember, in last week's episode, Justine told Michael that, she would apologize to his mother, but she is owed an apology as well, and rightfully so, right? I know a lot of people disagree about that, but y'all, Michael's mother was talking about her parenting style with her daughter. Do you guys want somebody to come up to you and tell you how to raise your child? Like, let's keep that a buck. So Michael's kids are with them. So they're actually getting ready to go back home with... Now, see, here's the thing that I asked in the last episode about Michael's kids. So I don't think that Michael's mother is raising those kids. Those kids live with their mothers, because Michael keeps talking about how the relationship is not a good one between him and the mother of his kids. So for his mama to keep saying that she's not gonna let her granddaughter get a tattoo or piercings, ma'am, that ain't on you. And even when that girl gets 18, you still can't tell her what she can and cannot do. So I really wanted Michael's mama to sit down and shut the heck. Dang. I really wanted Michael's mama to sit down and shut the HE double hockey sticks up. Like, this is not gonna be easy for me. Yeah, this ain't gonna be easy. We're gonna have to figure out how to bleep stuff out. Gotta learn how to bleep. I think that's gonna be the best thing for me, is just to bleep out stuff that I say instead of having to censor it. Just bleep it out. It's gonna be a lot easier for me to bleep out the curse words than for me to actually say the curse, than to me try to keep from saying the curse words, right? So the kids are leaving. Michael's mom and sister shows up, right? So Justine was like, can we go outside and have a conversation? So Justine told she's like, me and you were friends before, and I've never disrespected you. But Michael's mama keep talking about the fact that Justine had her hands up. And I'm like, okay, some people are animated. I'm animated. I talk with my hands. So you gonna feel like I'm being disrespectful to you because I'm doing this. Like, ladies, shut up. Michael, no disrespect to your mama, but your mama is being extra. But clapped at you. I won't understand you talking about Justine was being disrespectful, but Justine was just talking with her hands. So, like people, just talking with her hands. Like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just talking to you. I'm just telling you how I feel. Like love and hip hop. Let's use love and hip hop for example. In their interviews, they talk with their hands. They talk. They're expressive with their hands. Their hands. Like, Michael's mom really annoyed me, right? Not once did I hear an apology come from Michael's mama or his sister. Justine was ready to apologize to the woman, and I'm so glad that Justine did not apologize to his mother, because you're not going to have me apologize to you, but you attack my parenting style, right? But then his mother wants to go on and talk about how she felt attacked by Justine because she was talking with her hands. Justine was not coming at you. You came at Justine. You started it, ma'am. Like, don't play the victim where you're not the victim. You started that mess with Justine. Justine finished it. That's period. That's on period. Justine was defending her daughter and her parenting style. So you came at her. And I like Michael. I really do like Michael. But ma'am, you talking about Justine's daughter having a tattoo and piercings, but your son went to prison for selling fentanyl. Who's the better parent? You or Justine? Justine is the better parent. And once again, that's no shade to Michael. I think Michael's a good guy. I actually really do like Michael. But if you're going to sit here and try to judge Justine, I'm pretty sure that you raised Michael with all the best morals, standards, and what, you know, and to be a good, decent human being, right? But something happened, and I don't know, maybe Michael saw that he could make a lot of money with doing that. I don't know. But for you to sit there and pass judgment on Justine, ma'am, you got to hold up a mirror to yourself and be like, was I a perfect parent? Where did I fall short with my son? And I'm not saying that you fell short with Michael, but like I said, I think you did the best that you could with Michael, right? So for you to sit, and Justine is doing the best that she can with her daughter. Justine felt like it was a good thing for her to go with her daughter to get her tattoos and her piercings instead of her daughter going. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, right? I have a lot of respect for Justine for that, right? Because a lot of kids, when it comes to tattoos and piercings, and they know that their parents are going to say no to it, they go and get it done anyway. They're going to get back alley tattoos, and like I say, but you know, you can develop staph infections. You can get hepatitis, HIV. You can get a lot if the needles are not clean. You can risk doing some bodily injury to yourself, right? So Justine felt it was better for her to go with her daughter and do it, and she signed a consent form. So, ma'am, and if, like I said before, if her granddaughter feels comfortable enough to go to Justine to do that, you should be like, Justine is a good woman, because my granddaughter felt safe going and talking to Justine and asking Justine. Now again, Justine is not her mother. So Justine, even if the girl comes to Justine and say, Justine, I want to go get a tattoo and a piercing, Justine can't take that girl and say, let's go get a tattoo, depending on how old this girl is, because Justine is not her mother. Her parents have to sign for it. So it was really a moot point. I feel like the woman just wanted to throw that in Justine's face, to be quite honest with you. That's my personal opinion, right? So Michael went to go see his parole officer. Michael, he can't leave the state for 60 days, and basically he's in a quasi-free world, right? Because he's in the outside world, but he's on probation. He can't leave for 60 days, and basically they can pull up to him at any point, which I know that that's true, because they can pull up to you at any point, and he'll say, if they say, I want you to pee for me, you got to pull your pants down and pee for them, right? Go to the bathroom and pee for them, make sure that your urine is clean, right? And if the cops are in his vicinity, he has to let them know. Even if the cops are next door, he has to call them and let him know. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. The next couple we're going to talk about is Gabby and Chris. So I want to address a comment that I saw in my video last week about Gabby and Chris, right? Talking about Chris is the prize and Gabby is, what did that person call? You call Gabby something. I forgot what you call Gabby. So let me put this out here about Gabby and Chris, right? Gabby and Chris are both two terrible people. One ain't better than the other. Let's be real. Gabby and Chris are both horrible people in my personal opinion, right? I'm not going to call Chris no kind of prize. He is not a prize. Chris beat Gabby. So we might not like Gabby, like we don't see it for Gabby, but we're not going to sit here and try to make Chris act like he's a good person when he physically abused Gabby. Again, don't like Gabby from nothing, right? But I'm not going to sit here and say that Chris is a prize because he's not. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that because of look wise. I'm saying it because of what I've saw. That's why I say Chris is not a prize. Chris is a monster. Period. Point blank. If you guys disagree with that, that is your prerogative, but not mine. Yes, Gabby is a lot of things. She's a narcissist. I think that's what the person called her, was a narcissist or something like that, right? Yes, Gabby is a lot of things. She's a horrible, and I agree with that. Gabby is a horrible person, but Chris is no better than Gabby. I'm not going to sit here and ever call a man that has the unmitigated gall and audacity to hit a woman anybody's prize. No, never going to happen from me. So Gabby and Chris, you know, he just got out the halfway house, right? They didn't sleep in the same bed together, which I don't care about. I really don't want to ever see. I don't know why WeTV is putting Gabby and Chris on us, knowing what they know about this couple. Why did y'all give them airtime again? Why are they back on television? I don't care if they did film this season. Y'all could have cut the scenes with Gabby and Chris as if they never existed, right? But we have it, right? So Chris apologized to Gabby for everything. I don't care about that. Chris, the next day, because they had sex, the next morning he tells her he's going to go see his probation officer, and he goes outside to find the car. So he asked Gabby, like, why is the car out here? You said it was at the shop. So Gabby has a suspended driver's license, right? And so she can't legally drive the car, right? But she's driven a car. And so Gabby is looking at some jail time. Now, she didn't want to stay on camera. Now, I don't know why she didn't want to stay on camera, what the issues were, but in the interview and she went to see a lawyer, she told us everything, but she said her lawyer told her not to tell anything. And I was like, that's a contradiction, kind of, sort of, right? Like, that's kind of a contradiction when I think about it. Because you said in your interview, your lawyer told you not to talk about it, but then you're talking to a lawyer about your situation. So Gabby was driving on a suspended license. She was in a 45 going 90 miles per hour. I have never done that before. Now, I have gotten a ticket for a 45, going 60 in the 45. I've gotten a ticket for that. I've gotten a ticket for going, 60 miles an hour in the 45, 65 miles in the 45. Ooh. And it's in my hometown that I get the ticket, that I've gotten the tickets for speeding, right? Because I've been in Dallas for now, oh my God, I've been in Dallas almost 8 years. I just thought about that. I've been here almost 8 years now. January 31st will be 8 years that I've been in Dallas. January 31st will be 8 years, because next year will be 9, and then 2025 will be 10 years that I've lived in Dallas. I moved here in 2015. But yeah. So I'm used to the speed limits up because I take the highways a lot. So highways are 60 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour. But even when I go home, I still speed. On the way home, it's 75 miles per hour going home. And I typically go about 80, 85, 90, or even 100 miles an hour. I'm gonna end up like Gabby because I got a ticket too that I ain't paid. I got a ticket back home that has not been paid since last year, for expired registration and no insurance on my car. Hopefully, well, I don't have a warrant because they haven't sent the warrant out for me, but Jesus, I gotta pay that ticket sometime soon. I'm telling y'all all of my business, and y'all don't even need to know that, but it's neither here nor there, right? So I can't pass judgment on Gabby because, girl, I ain't no better than you. We gonna be both clink together. No, we're not, because I don't speed. With me having that ticket on my stop line, JB, because you do still speed, but you know when to slow down. So Gabby, she also lets us know that she also got in trouble at a club. Her cousin got into it, I guess, with the security guard, and she got involved in it, being, Captain Saber cousin. And she's facing charges for that, for terroristic threats and, fighting a law officer. Girl, you are stupid. If I love my family to death, but baby, if you get in some legal trouble with the cop, I'm just gonna be like, call me, and I'll see what I can do for you. But other than that, I'm not getting involved with that unless it's police brutality. Even that, I'm not gonna get involved with that. I'm just gonna record you. But yeah, that's really it for Gabby and Chris. I couldn't care less. I'm gonna pause here and move forward, you guys. Okay, you guys. So the next couple up I really don't want to talk about them because I just don't understand this couple on any level. Eris and Cameron. Every time we see Cameron, he is always talking about Eris sitting on his face. I'm like, oh, okay. So they went to the studio. Can we be honest about the studio and his rapping skills? They're booty. They're trash. They're terrible. And she was talking about how blown away she was. I know she's saying she's blown away because it was good to her. To her, it might have been good. To me, those rap skills were elementary. I was like, I would never buy his music, stream it, or listen to it on YouTube. I would just never. No shade to you, Cameron. I think you're a cool person. You seem cool. You're really funny. But your music, it's a absolute hell to the no for me, sir. So, they tell his friends that they're getting married on Saturday. I was like, y'all just got engaged. And they were like, yep, and we're getting married on the weekend. I was like, why? I don't even think Eris knows why she's getting married so soon. Because it really does give a shotgun wedding. So, her daughter still hasn't met him at all. So she's going to have her daughter, and she's going to introduce her daughter to him, right? So they went to go see his probation officer, right? So he's on probation for 3 years, but it could be as little as 18 months. But he has to be on the straight and narrow, right? He can't have dirty urine. He can't get in trouble. He can drink, but not too excessively. It is so many stipulations to his being 18 months, and I'm like, girl, I don't think he gonna make it, because he was in that studio already popping bottles. I'm like, girl, I don't think your fiance or soon-to-be husband gonna have that 18 months. Your husband gonna be on probation for 3 years, and your husband probably gonna wind up back in jail. No shade to him, but just looking at him, I'm like, I don't think, because she asked him, can you do that? I'm like, I don't think so. And I don't think you believe so. I think Eris is playing herself and fooling herself, because I don't see it, right? And I'm just confused why they're rushing his wedding. So then they met up with his sisters, right? And one of his sisters, the first sister that we met, she looked just like him. They look exactly alike, right? They look like twins. And then we met his other sister, his older sister, Kia. So when he told his sister that was there that looked like him about getting married, she's like, is she pregnant? I was like, any logical thinking person would wonder that, like, is this a shot? Why is this such a shotgun wedding, right? But she's not pregnant. I love the fact that her sister said, you know, I know my brother and I know he's a good person, right? But you have a daughter. So why would you get married to him before your daughter meets him? She's like, well, my daughter is here. So after we leave here, we're going to go in. But that's still too soon. And again, I'm not saying that Cameron is a bad person. I just feel like Eris is moving too fast. Like, I get it. Her daughter, her father is in another country, right? But the thing is, he's not going to replace her father, number one. But number two, you don't know. I don't know how well you know. You don't. Let me back that up. She may know him well from his communications with her while in prison, but you don't know this man on the outside world. You don't know how he is. You already know that he's a little bit on the irrational side. The man said he went out and he felt a breathalyzer because he went out with his friends and drank too much. Now, he said he didn't drink that much, but the breathalyzer test said otherwise. So I believe the breathalyzer test over you. I just don't know why Eris is doing this, because this is not healthy. Not healthy at all. Like, literally not healthy. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. And we're going to pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys. So the last couple we're going to discuss is Monique and Derek, you guys. So Monique is so interesting. You guys remember in the last episode, Monique and Derek were being followed by somebody, right? So Monique is like, well, I'll pull over and I'll go over and ask who it is, find out who it is. But the producers and Derek are like, no, keep going. So the whole episode with them, that's all we see them doing is trying to shake whoever this is in this car, and they can never shake them until at one point I think they came to a train track and the person got stuck at the train because I think a train was coming or whatever. They got stuck at a light or a train. Nope, because at one point it was a light turned yellow. Monique ran through it and they ran through the red light, and they were like, they ran through the light. They got stopped somewhere, right? Now, Monique at one point was like, I'll fight them because she thinks it's Derek's sisters. But then she's talking about, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm like, oh, so Billy, we're going to have to learn how to bleep stuff out. Billy Bad is not being so bad anymore, right? Because she's afraid. So they eventually shook those people. Derek pretends like he doesn't know who it is, but then later in the episode, he told us he knew who it is. He's also telling us how Monique is smothering him. I absolutely see that Monique is smothering him, right? So he has to get out. He's going to let Monique continue to believe that it's his sisters, but he knows full well who it is. I think it got to be either a girlfriend or an ex-girlfriend, one of the two. So Monique is going to switch cars and she's going to switch hotels. Now, I don't think they know where you stand at, but I mean, I can understand switching the cars. That's fine, right? I can't really understand. Well, the sisters know what kind of car she's in, but so does this person. So, I mean, I guess they know she's from out of town, so I guess they could ride around. Depending on how big the city is, they could ride around and look at the hotels to try to find the car. So I guess I can understand her. I can understand her wanting to get out of the car and the hotel, I guess. I really don't care. You guys know I told you I don't like Monique. I have no problem with saying I don't like Monique, and it ain't got nothing to do with Monique's weight. Because I said it earlier. I said in a previous review that I think she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl, but she's just very insecure, and that insecurity then projects onto Derek, and I just don't like that about her. That's what I don't like, her insecurity, and it just turns into jealousy. Her and Skyler would be a perfect match because they would never cheat on each other. Because both of them are just as jealous and insecure. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, and share the video, guys. And until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.